Well, January 1 will be a brand new spanking world thanks to Obamacare. Here with how you figure out how much you'll be paying for your deductibles, your copays, goodness knows what else, is Dr. Stephen Reisman of the New York Cardiac Diagnostic Center. Dr. Steve, welcome back to the show. So we're just doing a drill down here on some of these fancy pants phrases and words that they use in the medical community that for the rest of us it's right over our head. Let's start with copays. Are people still paying copays? How much are they?
Copays are what the patient pays when they go to the doctor or they get a procedure. They could be $20, they could be $50. As an example, if you go to the doctor and you have a comprehensive examination and there's a $200 charge from the doctor, the patient may pay $50 up front, which is deducted from that $200. Then the doctor gets another $150 from the insurance company if there's no co-insurance.
What is co-insurance?
Co-insurance means that your insurance, for instance, you may have a plan that has a 20% co-insurance. That means if the doctor gets $150 from the insurance company is going to pay 80% of that, and the patient is actually going to pay 20% of that, which is $30 of $150, let's say. So co-insurance means that's the patient's responsibility for the insurance amount that the insurance company owes the doctor. That's after the copay is taken off the top. So
naturally, it works that way. So when you say co-insurance, that means a sharing of costs. Is that
sharing
right?
of costs between patient and between the patient and the insurance company. Now, in the past, most plans, private insurance plans, did not have co-insurance.
Right.
We're seeing more and more of that, and with Obamacare, we're going to see higher percentages of co-insurances depending on bronze, platinum, gold, but these are basic concepts that have been around for a while. There's a sharing of costs, and the patient is actually taking a bigger share now also. Then you get into deductibles.
Let's talk about deductibles for a few minutes, because I think this is truly confusing to people, because some of these Obamacare policies carry very big deductibles.
So even before Obamacare, there were deductibles. Up until about 2 or 3 years ago, a lot of plans did not have any deductible. The insurance companies started increasing the deductible several years ago. Now, the deductible means that if you go out of network, the doctor is not participating in that plan, you're going to pay up to, let's say, $3,000, and then the insurance kicks in. If you stay in the network of the doctors who participate in that plan, then if you go for a regular checkup, the insurance plan may cover all of it if there's no co-insurance, but you still may pay the $50 copay. Very confusing.
Dr. Steve, I have to ask you this, because I think all of us get those letters from our health care insurer, if you have a health care insurer, and it's a laundry list of charges and fees, and sometimes it'll say this is not a bill on it. What am I looking at?
Okay, so that's called an EOB, or an explanation of benefit. The doctor gets it and the patient gets it. And it says to the doctor and to the patient, you went to the doctor, he charged $350, but we're only allowing him to get $200 because he participates in our insurance company. So we're going to pay him $200, but you already paid $50 for the copay, we're paying $150. And usually on these EOBs, it just tries to explain, and it's very confusing, what the breakdown is. So my suggestion in those situations, if you're at a big company and you have an HR person or human resources person, go to them and ask them, what does this mean? And when you go to the doctor, before you go, know if you have a deductible, because if you have a deductible, you may have pay up front a lot of money before the insurance kicks in.
All right, so rules of the road here. You want to stay in network so you can get the lowest cost care possible, right? You want to understand what you're on the hook for in terms of deductibles.
Exactly.
And clearly you need to know the copay, because you're going to be on the hook for that right away.
And there's one other little trick. Sometimes if you go to like I took my daughter to the ear, nose, and throat doctor, he was in the plan, but because he did a slight surgical procedure, that he was not in the plan for the surgical procedure. That goes out of network.
That's so annoying.
So you really, before you get anything done at the doctor's office, we do this at our office, check with the secretary, the receptionist, am I covered? Am I covered for all the procedures? Do I need a pre-certification? Are you going to help me get the pre-certification? These are all the things you have to do these days to try to limit your financial risk.
Wow. Thanks so much for coming on,
Pleasure,
Dr. Steve. Great stuff. Really appreciate it.